What's up, everybody? This is KC. You are watching CHHysteria. Pancho gang. Oh, let's get it.
We are here with KC, the leader of the Poncho gang itself, your favorite guy that does all the Zach and Cody references. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, bro. It's been a long time coming. We've been wanting to do this for a
Super
bit.
long time. Super long time. But I'm glad we're able to finally get it popping. And I'm excited for what we're going to talk about tonight. I've been wanting to do this with y'all for a good bit.
Yeah, man, it's been like at least like 2 months, right? So it's been a
Yeah,
bit.
it's been 2 months.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, we appreciate all the support you've shown us, and like, I know we have a pretty good amount of fans that know who you are and like your music, but I also know there are some that aren't too familiar with you. So do you want to start us
Right.
out just by introducing yourself?
Yeah, for sure. Like y'all said, I'm KC, K hyphen SEE. And so I make like just lit music for Jesus. That's my big mantra. The reason why I have the name KC the way that it is because my initials, my first name and my middle name are KC, so everyone calls me KC. And so when coming up with a rap name, my dad said, you're able to see spiritual things that God has to show and stuff like that. So how about K and SEE? Because you see things that God wants people to see, and He'll use you through that in music. So that's how KC was born, and yeah, that's my that's how he started.
Man, that's a fire name. I like how you have a meaning behind your name. I didn't know. I just thought it was like something you liked and thought was fire. But
Nah,
yes,
yeah,
something I've noticed in you, like when we talk, and something I really like about you is like your heart for God and like just like you're a Christian first, and like you want to do that first, and then a rapper after. I love that. So like I'm just curious, and like what's your story behind like becoming a Christian? I know it's kind of a broad thing, but like just like an overview.
Oh no, I'll keep it very short because it's a very long story. My dad is a pastor. I grew up in church like my whole life, and like when I was 4, made the choice to follow after God, and I was like, look, I'm gonna serve Jesus. So all through like since I was 4 years old, all the way up to like middle school, just super on fire for God and stuff like that, and telling everyone about Jesus. Uh, all I listened to was like Christian hip hop. So I listened to Lecrae. I listened to Andy when Andy was C Light. He wasn't even Andy Manil yet. He was C Light. No Tombstone used to be my jam. When KB first came out with Zone Out. KJ52 like used to be my hero because he makes like corny rap or whatever, but it was just so catchy. I loved it. So there was the Ambassador, Cross Movement, like all that stuff. Like I used to listen to all that growing up. And then when I got to high school, I kind of wanted to like fit in with everyone else. They were listening to more secular music. They were listening to like Waka Flocka and then Chief Keef and all these new artists coming up. Migos had just started coming out at this time. So yeah. And then my 10th grade year of high school, I was kind of on the fence about if I was going to keep serving God or not. And I was molested by a family friend that we had known since I was like 6 years old, and she was like my youth group teacher and everything, and she taught me a lot of stuff sexually that just crazy. And so I got so mad at God. I was like, God, if you love me, how could you allow this? You allowed all this to happen. I was like, bump it. I'm not gonna live for God anymore. So then after that, I started going crazy. Started messing around with girls myself. I started smoking weed all the time. Started cussing like crazy. I stopped listening to like Christian music and stuff, and I was like the hugest hypocrite. Like I would go to church every Sunday, every Wednesday. I would even lead like youth group stuff, and tell people you could live for Jesus and stuff like that. But all the while, like I'm the biggest hypocrite. Like I'm not living for God at all. And so yeah, so that went on for like 2 years, and then I got super popular in high school. I ended up winning prom king. I was the most like coolest person quote unquote in high school. Is yeah, so I just super popular, but the whole time I'm just empty because I'm a hypocrite and I got no joy. And then the summer before my freshman year of college, I saw Straight Outta Compton, and I didn't even know like the NWA story. I had never like I knew like who Ice Cube was and all them, but I had never like honestly like listened to their music or anything like that. And I don't advise people to watch that movie. There's a lot of stuff in that movie that people should watch, but I watched it and I saw Easy E die, and it like scared the crap out of me because he was so young and he died with AIDS. And I was like, yo, how much worse is it gonna be for me, someone who supposedly knows Jesus, who grew up, in a Christian home, dad's a head pastor of his own church and everything, taught you stuff, and yet I never really lived it. And so that night I went home and I repented, and I was like, God, I wanna serve you again. I want to do things right. And yeah, that's how it's been since then.
Man, that's a crazy story. It's crazy that um, you watch the movie and that's like what hit you. It's crazy what God will hit you, right? You know what I mean? Like at
Yeah,
least
honestly,
expected. It's crazy. I'm glad you're
honestly.
here and you're living for God. It's always encouraging to hear that. Always. So um, to go kind of more into like your music stuff now is
Sure.
how and like when did you start rapping? Was it like after you gave yourself back to God? Was it like you did it like kind of for a long time? Like what's your story with that?
So like I would do like raps for like school and stuff like that, and it would, people would like it, but I mean, I wasn't trying to do rapping or whatever. Like I never thought I would make music and release it out or things like that. And then I never forget like freestyling with my friends, and they would always make jokes because they would be like, "Casey, you sound so proper when you rap, like when you freestyle, like you're not talking slang, you're not." Talking about, hey, Shai Tatiana or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I just talk, I guess I rapped proper. And so they were like, but it's pretty straight, bro. They were like, you should record. So I was like, all right, cool. So my dad had told me about DistroKid. I had recorded a couple of songs and put them on YouTube. And like I saw like 400 views in like 6 months, and I was like, oh my gosh, 400 people watch my video. I'm like going crazy, right? And so my dad was like, yeah, there's this thing called DistroKid. It'll upload your tracks to Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So I had already recorded like 20 songs. I had stopped going to my friend's studio. I started like recording stuff on my own. And so he was like, let's record all the songs that you have written out, put your seven best songs together, and let's do an EP. And so we did it. It had no mixing and mastering. I didn't even know about any of that. And everything is like still out now, but I haven't listened to it in so long because it's like so old. And like every time I listen to it, I cringe. But yeah, that's how I got started in music. My friends telling me that I would rap proper, but my freestyle was pretty good. And yeah, that's how I started doing music.
So man, that EP that you were talking about is that the life of Christian that's
Of
up
a
on your
Christian, yeah.
Spotify? Okay,
Yeah, so
nice. Yeah.
that's because
So
my middle name is Christian. So I
oh,
was
for
like,
real?
yeah, so people so every time it's like I used to live the life of a PK. So I used to be like a pastor's kid. So I was,
Right.
they always say pastor kids are the worst. And in my case, I was one of those bad pastor's kids. So on the cover of the EP, it has PK, scratched out, and it has Christian instead of it because now I live the life for Jesus. I live the life of a Christian, no longer a PK. So
So
yeah.
yeah. So putting that like within like your story that you told us earlier, where the life
hmm
of a Christian came out after you re-gave yourself to God,
Right.
after
Yeah.
you watched
Three
it. Cool.
years. 3 years after
Okay.
I did. Yeah. 3 years
Okay.
after I
Cool.
did, and I wanted to put a lot of my what I was, went through as before I accepted Christ, and then stuff I was going through while I was, living for Jesus and stuff like
Right.
that. I definitely had more of like I'll say like a drill sound. I wanted to have like a drill sound because like I said, like I listened to like Chief Keef and stuff like that, and a lot of Chirac rappers. So I was like, yo, nobody in Christian hip hop is making music that's, talking about, shoot them on site and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna be the first Christian rapper to do that. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
different. And it was like, yeah, that's not the sound that that's good for you or whatever.
Right.
So definitely been some growth since then. But yeah, that's the first project.
Man, some growth. No, I've actually heard most of that project. It's crazy to see how much you've grown.
Yeah,
From an
yeah.
artist. So like it doesn't even sound like the same person. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. It definitely has some auto tune a little bit on my voice now, and definitely better engineering and better vocal recordings as well.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That's good. That's good. Like that was like your first thing you put out, so
Yeah.
it's good to see where you're at now. Like, what would you say your mission with like making music is or has been?
My mission is so with Pancho Gang. I know we'll probably talk about that later on, in the interview and stuff. But With Pancho game, my biggest thing is First Peter 5:8. If people have heard the song "What's Up," they know right before the second chorus hits, I go First Peter 5:8. You know how to rock, and it says be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary, the devil, roars around like a prowling lion, seeking whom he may devour. And so I want people to know that we serve a real God, but there's also a real enemy, and there's a real devil who wants to take away the joy that God gives. It says, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Christ came to give life and give it abundantly. So my biggest mission is to let people know that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus came that we may have life. And why not be joyful and be lit in the life that God, gives you? Like I've never been one to be like depressed, to be sad. So I let people know like you could be lit for Jesus, you could be hyped for Jesus and be excited because there's so much that he wants to give. And yeah, there are times where, you'll go through periods of sadness, times where there'll be grief and there'll be moments of temporary, anxiety and depression. But you got to give that stuff to Christ and keep it moving. That's my mission. Let people know that you can be excited and be lit to serve Jesus. It's awesome to do that. So yeah,
Yeah, no, that's dope. Your mission's all based around hope, right? That's good
yeah.
stuff. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. That's dope. And yeah, you can see that in your music for sure.
So kind of moving away from the present to like future, specifically with Poncho Gang, but we'll get in that in a little bit. But
Okay.
so specifically about your future, so what are that you can tell us? What are your music plans for the rest of 2021?
Music plans for the rest of 2021. I
Yeah.
have a song. So I have a song called "Let Us Rage" that's coming out September 3rd.
That's
I don't know if
fire
this
from what I've
video.
heard.
I don't. I don't know if this video will be out after or before, but September 3rd, "Let Us Rage." And so far, like the hype behind it has been like some of the best hype I've ever like gotten for a song. And doing stuff on TikTok has definitely helped. I have another song planned called "On My Block" with 350 and A3 that's coming out on my birthday actually. Yeah, it's coming out on my
Ooh.
birthday actually. Yeah, so that's in October. And then I have another song planned for November with the members of a Pancho gang with me. So there's three of us that are OGs, me, my brother Manny, but we call him Aqua Manny, and then my best friend Sam, but he goes by Sedge, SEJ. Shout out to him. He's a dope artist. We're working on his marketing and getting him out there and doing more with it. So yeah, those are my plans for the rest of 2021. Um, in 2022, I'm excited because we're working on an EP that
Ooh.
that's the plan. That's the plan. I'm excited to the plan was to release it later this year in November. But I was telling Cole, I scratched some of the songs because I want to have my sound with it. And I was trying to sound not like myself. I was trying to have more like I won't even say meaningful. The word I guess I had to say is like more like deep alternative sounding music and stuff like that, some boom bap sounding stuff. And that's just not my style. I like to be lit with it. Of course, have a couple of songs like that, but for the most part, like I want to release an EP that is me and nothing else. So those are my plans coming up soon. We got some exciting stuff, and we got some merch in the
Ooh.
works. So yeah, so some Let Us Rage merch that we're getting ready to make. We're really excited for. God's just been opening a lot of doors and stuff. So those are my plans for the rest of this year. We're excited.
That's so much fire for real though. Man, that's crazy.
That was there is some
That was
fire
that
stuff in
was a
that plan.
drop. I was expecting to be like, yeah, I got a
Yeah.
song or two in the works. But he's giving us names. He's like EP
Yeah, like dang.
2022.
Got to because it's like like I released a song called Uno. It's like stacking your cards are like Uno. Like you gotta be prepared for like every single thing, and like our time is now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Let Us Rage is about. Our time is now to get lit for Jesus, to be excited what God is doing. There's so many young artists and like y'all are young creatives and like everyone, it seems like everyone's young, like doing this. And it's like, yo, the time is now for young people to stand up and like do what God's called them to do. And so like I'm excited seeing dudes like Hovey, Henrik, Christopher Sincere, Coop, Geo, just so many, Scooty Wop, all that stuff. Young dudes just going crazy for the Lord. Like time is now.
Definitely. So we're kind of moving into Poncho Gang. So what is Poncho Gang? Like what would you I guess define it as? Almost.
So Poncho Gang is something I started back in 2018 because I was like I had made music and I felt like I needed something for myself, but also at the same time, I was seeing everybody in music videos and stuff or in pictures wear the same clothing. Like this was back during the time where fanny packs were really popular. Joggers, everyone was wearing joggers, fanny packs, and hoodies. And I was like, I'm so sick of tired of wearing that. I want to be different. I want like people to like notice something different. And so I had made a song and I was like, it was called No One Better. And like in the song is like, Lord, you're number one. And I'm too like Lonzo, blessings falling on my head. Lord, I need a poncho. But I wasn't thinking poncho game or anything like that. It was just part of the lyrics of the song. And so I was watching a movie, Christian movie called Facing the Giants. I don't know if y'all have ever
Ooh,
seen it. Yeah,
yeah.
Fire
great movie,
movie,
great movie,
fire
great movie.
movie.
There you go. See, and so like y'all know the part where the team keeps losing and stuff like that. And so the pastor guy comes and talks to him and he's like, there were two men
Oh,
that had a field and prepared it for rain. Which one do you think, was ready for rain? And he was like the one that prepared his fields. And God literally spoke to me and he was like, I want you to prepare people for what I got coming, for the blessings, for things I want to tell them in their life. And it was like, how do you prepare for rain? And it was like, you wear a poncho. And Poncho Gang was born right at that time.
man, you really work with movies, man. Like God really speaks to you with movies.
Yeah, we need to get Casey on some movie marathons. He might come up with something real good.
Start predicting the future for people. Oh,
Yeah.
and Raiders of the Lost Ark has he's scared of the snakes. You can't be scared of the demons in your life, okay?
I mean, so do you have an end goal with Poncho Gang? Like, do you have like for example, like, do you want to work with like 20 artists because of Poncho Gang by the end of your career, or like, does it just kind of go with the flow, or?
So that's tough. I like to work with artists that I'm really cool with or that I could hear on a song that I have. I know people have said that I pick good features. I do think that I really do pick good features. That's something that I really enjoy. And there are features that my friends are my good friends and stuff, but also I think can help my career in the long haul as well. But for the most part, for Pancho Gang in for the future, I think just I want to keep doing stuff myself. I've honestly been like doing that. I know I said like I've signed with 350 A3, but I like to have maybe like one feature on the song and then 3 or 4 songs without any features and just me by myself, and then another feature or whatever, you know. But I just want to keep working with my friends. That's probably the end result for Pancho Gang with features and stuff is keep working with people that I come in connection with and that I build a genuine connection with and that I'm cool with and stuff like that. So, there are people I've connected with that, we talk, once in a while, but it's like I can't really see you on a song or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But for all the people I've had on songs, we built genuine connections. We talked on the phone or a lot through text and stuff like that. We've made jokes, we've prayed together and stuff. So it's like I definitely want you on the song, you know what I'm saying, because of that. So yeah.
Yeah, you do pick your features really well. I do remember when we had you as the artist showcase. I think I
I
know Cole
remember y'all
said it.
saying that.
I know Cole said it perfect. But
Well, I don't even remember what I
wait,
said. I'm gonna be honest.
bro, I'm pretty sure you said that, but I could be wrong.
I
Um,
remember the artist showcase, they were like the one thing that I think Casey does well is like he picks his features really well. Like he gets
Hey,
people that can, he does well on the song, but they also do really well on the song as well. It makes it a really good song together. So that's
that's
something that I
facts.
like to do.
it's always good having that like skill. But so you kind of I don't know, you kind of alluded to this a little bit, I guess. Or I kind of alluded to an answer of this. But so are you going to start a collective with Poncho Gang, or is it just gonna be?
It's going to be a collective. So,
Oh,
so yes, it will be a collective. A lot of stuff, honestly, like a lot of stuff is in the works. I think I have to get over because there's initial fear for me, a little bit, just because, like my brother, even though he's part of it, he doesn't really like do music. He does it, just for fun or whatever. And Sedge does it like he does it for real. My boy Sam, like goes by Sedge. He does music like for real, but at the same time, like he's married, he has a kid, and then he has another kid on the way. So it's like he can't really focus on music the way that he wants to because he's trying to provide for his family and do all that stuff. So I'm single and I'm like trying to do it, you know, fully or whatever, do music fully. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, if we do this collective or whatever, are people gonna rock with us as a group or whatever, or are they just gonna rock with me? Just because they know, my name or whatever, Pancho Gang for me. I want them to rock with my friends as well. And I also want us to like really make good music. And like, I've seen, because Vert Mob, for example, we'll say Vert Mob, Scooty Wop, Big Breeze, and God Fearing. They're all together in their collective or whatever. But they were doing a lot of solo stuff before they became Vert Mob. And so like that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to hit that level where I know like, all right, boom, we got lots of people rocking with us or whatever, a few thousand. It's time to let the collective come out and let everyone on Pancho Gang as a movement, as a ministry, as a whole. So I think I just have to get over like my initial fear of like failure in order to push that fully through. But yes, it is in the works. We have two songs already recorded, pretty much mixed and mastered, ready to go. So we're kind of like trying to just stack up so that when it's time to drop the EP and let everyone know it's time for the collective, we're trying to, do some indie tribe, dramatic effects or whatever with it or something, So yeah, just hopefully we keep growing before that.
I think Poncho Gang's gonna be absolutely fire whenever it does become a collective.
Pancho Gang has already the best tagline. Like you have that going
That's
for you. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like
It's so funny how it came to be. We were just I was freestyling. I actually wasn't even freestyling. We had wrote a song. And we were in a hotel room, and it was me and two other artists. And they don't even like really do music anymore. And they were taking music more seriously than me at the time. This is back in 2018. They were taking music way more seriously than me. And so we were in there. We had wrote a song. And so just before I was supposed to rap, I was like, as an ad lib, I was like, Punch Gang, ooh. And they were like, yo, bro, that ad lib is fire. That ad lib is fire. And I was like, we listened to it again. We mixed and mastered it right quick. We played it again. And like, just before the beat was like, and then the beat cut off. And I was like, Punch Gang, ooh. And they were like, oh, stupid. So then I was like, yo, I like that. I was like, I'm gonna add that
bro.
to all my songs or whatever. So right before the beat drops or whatever, I'll just be like, Punch Gang, ooh, and then it lets you know like this is a KC track and it's time
You
to
know,
time to
bro,
play.
there is so much power in that. Ooh, like the way you say it, it's just like it is so catchy and it's just, yeah, it's just like
It is.
it's like fire. It's like yeah, it could be its own song and I'd rock with it.
I think it's cool because in the way that we do it, because like like for most of the songs, it just like comes on and the beat, drops or whatever. Then you have songs like For the King and of course dripping like ooh, where it's like punch again, punch again, punch again, punch again, ooh, and then it comes on. And it's like oh snap, like so it definitely depends on the vibe that we're going to. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Poncho Gang is going to be absolutely fire. So what impact do you think Poncho Gang will have, CHH?
So I'm honestly not gonna lie. I think it'd be big. I think it could be big for the simple fact of it's different. And when I say it's different, it's there's so much that goes into Pancho Gang. So everything that I do is for the brand Pancho Gang. So the Sweet Life is Zach and Cody intros. Um I pretty much rebranded myself after 2019. I did a song with Drew called Dash. We did that and I liked it because it was like a Playboy Cardi type beat. And it was the first time I ever done like a Playboy Cardi type beat. But I was like, I kind of like how this sounds. I kind of like the happy kind of vibe or whatever. I came back the next year. I didn't make any music for 6 months. And then came back the next year. It was Halloween, October. It was Halloween, October 2019. Someone, they were dressing up as zookeepers. And so my pharmacist had like a safari hat and it didn't fit his head. And so he was like, I put it on and he was like, yo, that actually looks good or whatever. And I was like, yo, he was like, you can keep it. So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna keep it. I went home that night. I showed my parents. We were laughing and they were like, you should throw it in your next music video. I was like, I was already thinking that. Like, let's throw it in the music video. So I was like, bet. So we were going to throw it in the music video. And I was like, nobody's wearing Crocs and stuff or whatever. So I was like, let's just add some Crocs. So I added some Crocs, some white socks, because I was like, that's just totally different. I like to be different. I don't want to be like everyone else. I want to be different on like white socks, Crocs. We got the safari hat, and then I was already doing the umbrella emoji because I couldn't find like a poncho really. So I was like, let's do the umbrella emoji. My brother had always used the umbrella emoji on Snapchat, so everything like sets up for it. And then of course, just I was like, I really want to have an intro before the songs, before the punch game. So I really want to have intros. And I was like, I used to like Rocket Power, so I was like, maybe I'll do Rocket Power. Then I saw Sweet Life of Zack and Cody like a rerun when Disney Plus came out, and Esteban had said like this is a disaster, and Mr. Mosby was like this is a disaster, and Esteban was like oh no, this is a disaster, and I was like this is it, we're doing Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, so I was like let's do it, and so yeah, so I think it could be really big, honestly, because it's different. Everything that is done with it goes into it, and people really rock with it. I think younger kids between the ages of like 13 through like 18 really, that's my biggest demographic. The 18 through like 13 through like 22-year-old range really rock with my music. And so I think it could be big because there is a scene out there for my sound of music. And I think that no one really in CHH has like the sound that I have in a way. So I definitely think that Pancho Gang could be big because it's different. And it's, hey, we'll just see how far it goes.
I'm gonna be real, bro. That safari hat made you a fashion icon, at least in my mind. Like
Facts.
that's gonna be your biggest impact on CHH. Is you're gonna have an impact on the fashion game.
All I'm
Oh
saying is
man,
Crocs with socks is fire though.
Crocs with socks with a safari hat. You know what I mean? No one else do that with the poncho on too.
Exactly.
It's true. It's true. Like it's just so funny because like I wear the poncho for like every video. This Let Us Rage video is like the first video I actually didn't wear like a poncho in, but I like wear the poncho for like every video. And like Henrik and Gio were like making fun of me because they were like, he's bringing out the tops, the safari, the legendary safari. Let me touch it. Let me touch it. So we were all making jokes or whatever. And they were like, bro, it's like 100 degrees out here. You're wearing a jacket. You got to be burning up. And I was like, no, it's the aesthetic. It has to be. It's the principle of the matter. So yeah,
Jesus keeps me cool, right, bro?
there
Exactly.
you go. There you go. Man's not hot. Man's not hot.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
So, kind of not kind of shifting focus from Poncho Gang to like just general future. Before you retire, what are some people or groups that you would like to work with?
Ooh, that's tough. Um, okay, definitely. Number one person is Hovey. Um, for sure. I tried to work with him. We actually they responded to my email, and he responded like this is when they responded to my email. He him Kobe, I DM'd him and I was like I feel like I want you on the song. He was like send the track, and the track ended up being Dripping Like Ooh. I had a different beat for Dripping Like Ooh. But we ended up changing the beat, send it to Hovey's management. They never responded, but it's okay. It didn't work out. But it ended up being good because that song was more of a solo song anyways. But Hovey definitely number one. Number two, probably like Christopher Sincere, just because he's a good brother. I like what he does, and I think our energy matches for sure. Like if it was a good, really good beat where he's able to spaz on like I guess people compare him to Logic, like on that Logic type thing, and then if like some 808s came in or something like that, like I think we could definitely have a hit for sure with that.
Song
Um,
of the year, right?
yeah, exactly. I think it would be crazy. And he's just a really good guy. I love him. Let me see. Indie Tribe is straight. I think the person from Indie Tribe I would want to work with the most would be No Big Deal, just because of course, how talented he is. If I wanted to do, because people have said that. So I've had actually several people say that me and Miles Minnick are kind of the same on the lit factor, right? Like we both have that energy and that like our videos both just go crazy. That would be someone I would want to do like an East versus West Coast battle, like beat or something like that, and see how that would go. If it would be something West Coast slash East Coast beat, and we would just go crazy on it. But of course, his feature price is probably through the roof too. But those would probably be it, honestly.
Man, aren't you a youth pastor too?
Yes, yes, yes.
Man, it'd
So
be a youth pastor battle too, not even just a
Ooh,
East versus West.
I think I think that would be lit. And y'all had Miles on y'all show before, and y'all have talked to Miles before. So I think that would be cool. Like there's just and me and Miles Minnick have talked before, and he's like commented on my videos and been like, "Yo, bro, you glowing crazy
You
or
glowing up.
whatever." I was like, I literally told him, I was like, "Yo, we gotta see who has more energy, bro, me or you." And he was like, "All right, bet." Because he was talking about the Uno video, and he was like, "Bro, you glowing stupid on there, like you
You glowing
jumping around and everything." I was like, "Just wait, like you know what I'm saying? Like we definitely have to have a battle." So I think we'll definitely have that in the near future.
Man, that would be a fire track. Like that'd be so fun. Like the
That would
music
be.
video would pop off too.
I think it would. I think it would. I just hate that how everything just like costs money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to pay for the feature, then you got to pay for the mixing and mastering. Then since he's all the way in Cali, got to pay for the flight. Then you got to pay for the video, and it's like, well, that's $2,000 on the track right there on one song, and it's like,
Yeah.
sheesh.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah.
hard. It's hard to make a living out here, right?
Oh yeah, it is, especially in the genre when it's like you don't make too much money from doing music and stuff like that unless you're of course big name artists and stuff like that. So it definitely is tougher. I think that's one reason why I'm trying to do a lot of stuff on my own. And when I say on my own, like individual songs, single songs by myself, because of wanting people to hear me more. And then if I end up making it or whatever, then be like, okay, cool. Now let's work with these features or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's get more
Right.
big name people to help me grow and stuff like that. So for sure.
Yeah, bro, that's fire. So that actually segues nicely into the next one. So we've had some conversations asking about this, and I think you just have really interesting like opinions and views on this. So I thought it'd be really fun to
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
I
in
got
front
the
of
hottest
everybody.
take.
Yeah, I mean, you might lose some fans, but I'm saying,
It's okay. Hey, they
no,
know my fans. If they ask me like who my favorite artists are, I will tell them. I'll be like, "Is
right.
nobody you know?"
It's not, man. No, but yeah, I wanted to talk to you about kind of like what makes a song and an artist Christian, like what makes a song artist CHH. So let's just start out like with what makes a song Christian in your head, in your mind. Like, is it song by song basis? Is it like the artist? Answer that.
Yeah, I think it's both. Um, it's definitely It's definitely tough because of how CHH is and how it's just really difficult because everything that's said is either you seem very legalistic if you say it, or if you say it, you're a compromising Christian because you don't think that. So there's no like middle ground, honestly, with a lot of takes. I think for me, songs are Christian because one, the artist's life represents Jesus, and then also the music represents Jesus. Like there are a lot of artists, of course, who are Christians, but yet don't make like Christian music. They make like clean music, and there's nothing wrong with that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong making clean music and stuff like that. I like clean music. I guess I like alternative indie rock, definitely, for sure. It's just the thing that sucks is that there's just no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? So you have artists that don't make Christian music that are included in CHH, and then on top of that, they're who a lot of people want to work with or whatever. And as CHH fans and stuff like that, we're so quick to put them in like the CHH scene and stuff. I'm not a big like Foggy Raw fan or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with Foggy Raw. His music is really fire. I'm not even gonna lie. His music is really fire, but I just think that it's not CHH. But we put him in CHH. You know what I'm saying? We say, oh, he's a Christian artist and stuff like that. Paris Perez, I have a song with him, and I'm not saying he's not CHH, but he's someone that says he doesn't want to be CHH. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to realize that a lot of these artists, they don't want to be CHH. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? But I think we have to realize that's where a majority of our fans come from. You know what I'm saying? Are CHH fans. So I think Lecrae had caught slack from that for sure when he was like, I don't like church people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's like the majority of the people who listen to your music or who buy your albums are the church people, you know what I'm saying? So I think we have to, I mean, it's the truth, I think just we have to just find a middle ground and not compromise, but also at the same time not be just so legalistic. You know, we just have to find some common middle ground. You know, I think that's the toughest thing.
So yeah, so what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm like wrong on this, is that
No, no, no. You'll
let's
probably be right.
say let's say an artist were to, I don't know, I don't really want to call any name. Okay, let's take Snoop Dogg for an example. He
Uh huh.
dropped like a gospel album. Since he's not I don't know his life, but like from what it seems like, he's not living out what like a Christian life would be, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
would you say that his gospel album is not considered Christian music because the artist behind it isn't living out the gospel? Is that what I
Exactly.
heard?
Yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah,
and then we have artists. I'm trying to think of a good example, like um, for like the clean side. I guess you gave. I don't know. Like Paris Chris maybe is a good example.
yeah,
Um, like he makes clean music. He doesn't cuss in his music, but it's not like super Jesus focused all the time.
yeah, yeah.
That would be also not. Would you say that is Christian music, or is it clean music associated with CHH?
I think it's clean music associated with CHH, you know, and
So
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that or whatever, you
right,
know. It's like Nick D.
yeah.
It's like Nick D. Also, you know, Nick
Oh, Mickey
D
is a great
makes fire.
example.
Yeah, he makes fire music, and we include him in, you know, quote unquote CHH or whatever Christian music. But it's like the music isn't Christian. He's not talking about Jesus or nothing in the music, but it's just clean music that we include in CHH or whatever. And there's nothing
So
wrong with that or whatever. I
it's
just
like
think
it's. Oh, sorry.
there's just
I
no
didn't mean to
middle.
cut you
No, no,
off.
no, you're good. No, no, you're good. You're
Um,
good. Go ahead. Say what you're
it's
gonna say.
so it's the artist that matters. Like the artist behind the music is what makes it a part of CHH. You could say almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Because like,
Oh,
you
that's
know,
interesting.
Rapzilla and different outlets will like post about it. They'll be like, oh, you know, Snoop Dogg's dropping, you know, a gospel album. Chance the Rapper just follow, you know, Chance the Rapper just followed, no big deal.
Which
And
is
you
dope.
know, yeah, which
NYB.
is dope. You know what I'm saying? NYB. You know what I'm saying? And we're are we saying Chance the Rapper is a Christian artist? I mean,
Matters
I
on who
mean,
you ask. On it, like
I
literally.
mean, yeah, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Does he make more quote unquote, we'll say Christian music than other secular rappers? Yes, for sure. You know what I'm saying? But can we go to a concert at a church and play his music? No, because there's just stuff in there that's not Christ-like. It's not leading people closer to Christ. And if it is, it's a surface level, Christian life that he's leading people towards. Is not really talking about the depths of walking a Christian life. I think a lot of people want to have that surface level walk with God, but don't want to go deeper in their walk with Christ. And it shows sometimes in their music because it's surface level. It's right there at the surface, but it's not like pushing people to go deeper in their walk with the Lord. And I think that's one
Yeah.
thing that like I really look for in music when I listen to it. It's like it can be super lit, and if it's telling people you can still go deeper in Christ and be lit, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, y'all know who Droop is, right? Y'all know Droop
Yeah,
or
I know Droop.
whatever.
We love
Yeah,
Droop.
yeah, yeah. So me and Droop have had this conversation before, and Droop, when he first did music, like his music was very surface level. It was kind of like Paris Caress in a way. Like he would be like, God is good, yeah, yeah, all the time, and it would that, but that would be the only thing he would talk about. Yeah, but that would be the only God thing he would talk about, or he'd be like, he watched my sins, and then he'd go and be like, yeah, I got the kick, I got the what, I got the jig, yeah, what, and it's like, yo, it's super lit, but the message behind it or whatever was surface level. And me and him had a huge talk about it. And he always tells me, like, he honestly goes, bro, I want to thank you for pushing me to talk about Christ more in my music and pursue Christ more. He's like, I can't tell you how many people recently have told me that my music has been changing their life because of the message of Christ. And I think that's the biggest thing, that we can impact people's lives for Jesus. You know what I'm saying? More when it's a message and they're really having to seek the Lord, you know what I'm saying, with the music. That's the biggest thing for me. So I think that's where I stand kind of on that whole, like, part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like what you said, I agree 100%. You're speaking facts. I love, for example, like I don't think there's anything wrong with like surface level songs for only like a certain amount of
Yeah,
time. Too, like as you grow, like we should see that in your music. You know what I mean? Like
I
if you
agree. I agree.
continually always surface level with maybe some like sketchy lyrics here and there, You know, that's like reflective of your faith and like where you're at. And like I love how like you
Exactly.
pushed, you know, like you pushed Droop to like show more of that, right? Or like
Yeah.
and like we love like that's just like I don't know artist development. You know what I mean? And it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Like if you go back and listen to something and like and you can just see their journey through their music, and that's dope.
Yeah,
I
I
agree, one
totally
hundred
agree.
percent. Yeah, it's cool. I think that's a really interesting perspective. I think that's really good. So when it comes to like CHH, no, so like, do you, I don't know, do you not necessarily box people as CHH, but do you label people as CHH like clean Christian rap, like clean rappers that are Christian? Do you label them as CHH or do you see them as something different? Like, what do you
That's
see
tough.
CHH as? You know what I mean? Like, what is CHH to you?
That's tough. That honestly is tough. Sheesh.
That is a hard question. I can't
That
even answer
that
it.
is a tough question. Yeah. I guess for me, CHH is man, that's tough. I think it's a right now. I think CHH is a young people's game. I think that's what it is. I think that the people at the forefront of CHH are not the heavy hitters. When I mean like people still see like Andy and of course Lecrae and stuff like that as like the heavy hitters of Christian hip hop as they are. They pave genres and stuff like that. But I think the heavy hitter for CHH and Christian hip hop is like Hovey. You know what I'm saying? I see him as that because him releasing his music inspired so many other artists in a way to start putting more Christ-centered music. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I'll
Facts,
say
hundred
for
percent.
example, Hovey releasing Christopher and stuff like that inspired 1K for you to be like, gospel rap is back or whatever. And it's like gospel rap is back. Like where was it before? Like weren't you supposed to be doing gospel rap before this or whatever? Like why is it back now or whatever? You know what I'm saying? But there was a time for a little bit where it was like artists weren't really talking about Christ in their lyrics. They were just making really, really good songs with little sprinkles of Jesus or little sprinkles of God, but it wasn't like hitting people with Jesus, with hitting people with the gospel. And I think that's what, to me, that's what Christian rap is, hitting people with the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I've heard people make the argument like, once all the topics have been covered, there's only so much topics you can have in Christian music and stuff like that. And I'm like, we're creatives. That's what we're called to do in our music is be creative. So be more creative with your music then. You don't if can't rap a lyric with Jesus, change his name, Jehovah Jireh, El Shaddai, something. Make it lit. Be creative with it. You know what I'm saying? So I
Bro,
think I think that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Listening to Christopher, listening to the song Holy Spirit really was like crazy. Holy Spirit, like that even changed my life in a way because it was just like that was just such an impactful song and it was just like it was like worship rap. You know what I'm saying? And
for
I
sure,
think,
bro.
yeah,
And
exactly. And
HGA too.
yeah,
Like HGA
exactly.
was literally worship trap, bro. Like as much as you can
That's what I'm
get.
saying. Yeah, you're right.
Sure,
You're
yeah.
right. And KB and Hovey to me are the two like heavy hitters for CHH music because the message is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, Lecrae came back with restoration, but before that, it was like that wasn't there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he says he's restored, he's found his faith again in the Lord, and he's back. That's awesome. But like I'm not even knocking for that. That's great. You know what I'm saying? But I think the two heavy hitters for me right now in quote unquote CHH Christian hip hop are Hovey and KB. And then you have people under there like No Big Deal. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that. I mean, let me think of another artist. Like, all right, I'll think like Joey Vantes, for example. Like he was making like clean rap in a way, we'll say for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like his songs weren't really talking about Jesus or whatever anymore. He was just talking about how he's came up and it's like, yo, that's fine and dandy. But I remember David Livick even saying that he was like, I listened to Legends Never Die too. That's what he said, and he was like, him and Paris are talking about their Nikes or whatever, but like he's like, this isn't pointing anyone towards Christ. I will never forget that because it's like struck out to me like that's what Christian hip hop is supposed to be, pointing people to be better followers of Jesus Christ. That's why we're called to be Christians, you know?
Man, we got Pastor KC up in here for real. No, but
Oh gosh.
I have two things I want to say about what you just said because you
Yeah,
just
go
said a
ahead.
lot, which is dope. I honestly rewatched this like 3 times, listen to everything because it was really good stuff. No, but I hate what you said about. Well, I don't hate I hate what people said about like the Christian. You can only talk about something so much because like two things about that specifically. It reminded me of a Lecrae lyric on Church Clothes about like it was like Wayne talk money, Ye talk fame, but people say I talk about the same old thing. I don't know if that's the exact wording, but like it was fire. Like
That's fire.
like the truth don't change. I think he said that right after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're
Like,
right. You're
but
right.
I also, but like as Christians, we have so much stuff to talk about, and like also like we should be more personal in our music than secular artists because we can be like as vulnerable as we need, like as much as possible, with
Right.
like our relationship with God and like because God has set us free, you know what I mean? Like we don't
Yeah,
got that.
exactly.
It's like we have so much to talk about. It's the other way around. They can talk about like fame and money, like that's what they talk about half the time. You know what I mean? Not half. I mean, I do listen to some secular rap, but like
Yeah.
you see what I mean. We have more stuff we can talk about. Is what I mean.
I
But
I totally agree.
but no, I just loved hearing your thoughts on that. That was super interesting. Um, but yeah, I think we just have a few more questions, just two. Um, so before we go, something I want to ask you is if you were in our shoes and you're the one interviewing us, I guess, what is something you would have asked that we did not ask you?
Let's see. Oh, that's tough because y'all came up with a lot of good questions. Oh, okay. Maybe what my favorite song is or whatever. I guess, or
Okay.
I guess maybe favorite thing I've worked on. I think that would be pretty straight. Maybe I guess I
What's
don't
your
know.
okay? What's your favorite song then? What's your favorite song?
Um, my favorite song is two. What's up in Uno.
Mm,
What's up for sure
both fire.
because just how it came to be. I had to change the course on it, and it just worked out perfectly. And then Uno because I feel like that was like it didn't do as well as I thought it would do, but it's okay. I'm still blessed with it got like 13K or 12K plays on
Yeah.
Spotify, which is for me is like that's great. You know what I'm saying? Especially where I'm at as an artist. So that because I feel like that was my most overall like well-rounded song. Like it was a beat I didn't think I would hit. It wasn't a beat that like I usually do, but it was just so much fun, especially stacking my cards like stacking my cards like like it was so much fun. So definitely that. But my favorite personal song has to be "What You Want," because like there was just a time period where I was just struggling with doing what people wanted me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never forget someone telling me they were like, Casey, you make so much Christian music. You need to decide if you're going to be a ministry, if you're doing this for ministry or you're doing this for artistry. And it was like, they were like, you talk about Jesus too much in your songs that, people are saying that like it's starting to sound the same that you're talking about Jesus too much. And this is another Christian too. And I was like, whoa, like that's what I'm called to do is talk about Jesus or whatever. I was like, none of my songs, honestly, I think sound the same. The message may, be the same talking about Jesus, but the message is different in talking about Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So definitely had a lot of thoughts with that. And I think that's my favorite personal song because it was just like I just wanted to just like let everyone know like who I do this for. It doesn't matter what you want, doesn't matter what my flesh wants or whatever to do. It matters about what Jesus wants. So it's like what you want, Lord. So yeah.
Man, yeah, I love all three of those songs. Actually, funny thing about Uno is I slept on that song until about last week. I re-listened to it and I was like, "Why have I not been listening?" So I've been listening to it a bunch lately, and best believe I have been stuck in my cards like a Uno. Oh, like oh, it's so good, bro. It's so good. Like
It's
I'm
so
telling you,
it's
your ad lib game or like your like are just so powerful, man. I'm saying, bro. I'm saying.
I appreciate it. Yeah, like I literally have had people like pay me for just doing some ad libs on their song. So it's
I
definitely a
would if I was an
blessing. Yeah.
artist for sure.
Yeah, it's it's definitely a blessing. I think that me and probably not Clyde have
Yeah, I
some
would
of the
say
best ad libs.
Oh
you and
yeah.
not Clyde got
Some of the best.
not the ad lib game on lock, bro. Imagine
Not Clyde's
I
ad
need
libs are
a you
crazy.
and not Clyde song just for the ad libs. Like it could just be all ad libs and
Facts.
I'll rack that.
Man,
Huh? Ooh.
if he wasn't so expensive, man, I definitely would,
Oh
for
man,
sure. 'Cause I know, like, cause he is. I think that our energy, like I said, like I like
your
artists
energy
that
would be crazy, dude.
can match the energy. You know what I'm saying? He might be like, right here on the bike with a 442 with a 210. Ooh, and I'll be like, ooh, I got the
Ooh.
different songs with my customer. I got on my note. Yeah, and stuff like that. You
No, not
know.
yeah.
So
You guys just deliver it. Like you guys could say anything. I'll be like, that was fire.
Ow.
You know, like, oh man, this guy had a
Ew.
like singing about ants in my pants. You know what I mean? What
yeah,
does that even
exactly.
mean,
That's what I'm
bro?
saying. Like, and it has like 300K, streams on
Right.
Spotify and
I
Yeah.
have over
stuff.
100 listens on that song, bro. Like, man,
I
I had that
think
at my
that
wedding, bro. I had that at my wedding.
you went to my
Like,
This is
parents. Oh
true.
I
my
did.
gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought she got aesthetic. That one was
oh, that one
hard.
fire though.
That one is fire.
That one's fire.
That put everyone on lock cloud. She got aesthetic, huh?
And
Okay,
Wande too.
okay.
Everyone was like, "Who this, bro?"
Yeah. That was right before Wande had signed to Reach or whatever, and
Yeah.
it was a perfect combination because like not Clyde had like just he had the aesthetic flow, for
And
sure.
the ad libs.
Paris
Huh?
had the swag, like he literally just he rode the heck out of it, you know what I'm saying? And then Wande had, of course, her legendary keep it on fleek, of course. Ooh, yeah, she got
Oh,
aesthetic.
so
Like, yeah.
strong, bro.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely it was a good mixture. I think that's one of the best mixtures of like artists on a track that I've like heard. Because
Everything was
honestly, like
perfect. Yeah.
when you have features on a song, it has to mix so well. It can't be, one person, sounds better than the other. That's always something I want. Like if I have features, I'm like, I don't want my features to carry me. I want to be able to either carry the features or all three of us or all two of us eat up the whole song. Like you can't get
Yeah,
carried
ain't
that
nobody
way
trying
on
to
a
listen
track.
to a weak verse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why people like for me, my sleeper song is always They Like Me. I knew They Like Me was a good song, but I
That's a
didn't
good
think
song.
that people were gonna like They Like Me the way that they did. Like I think I knew like They Like Me was like really good when like David Livick said it was in his top like songs of CHH for like the first half of 2021. Like and I was
Man,
like,
that's good
wait, time
stuff.
out, what? And he was like, They Like Me. Casey showed this to me early. Definitely fire track, and definitely been playing it, heaps in my car. Definitely, with 350 and Big Gucci Dame. And I was like, yo, David, that's crazy. Like, I think that's
Man,
a sleeper. I think that for me was like my sleeper song because it was like, wow, people actually really like this song.
man, that's crazy.
Uh,
No, that's still.
Alright. So here on CHH Hysteria, we like to finish our interviews off with like a, I don't know, quote unquote silly or sillier question that's just um meant to spark a little bit of discussion. So Casey, I feel like
Controversy.
this is a really yeah. So this is kind of a controversial question, but
Okay.
how do you feel about putting pineapple on pizza? Do you think it's a war crime? Do you think it's like a good thing? Like, what's your stance on it?
So people are gonna laugh at me because I actually don't like cheese. So I take the cheese off my pizza and
Hey, no disrespect.
I eat it with sauce and the bread.
I
That's
used to
how
do
I
that
eat
as
my
a kid,
pizza.
bro. I used to do that as a
Yeah,
kid.
like, bro.
Are you a grown man?
I do like to put the pepperonis back on it though.
Okay, you
But
saved. You
pineapples,
saved.
yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
But
you
pineapples
Gucci.
by themselves are super good though. Like they're one of the best fruits out there. Honestly, pineapples are
Oh,
bust.
yeah.
But if I like cheese, maybe I probably
Bro,
would eat. I remember when I was younger though, I used to eat pineapple, bacon, and ham on my pizza or whatever. And it was
That's
so
actually not
good.
the worst combination in the world.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's
Like,
good.
that's not
this
that
man
bad.
was like, that's not bad.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a lot of grease though. You got to think. You got ham and you got
Yeah.
bacon on top of pizza, and the
And you got
pineapples are
pineapple.
not. The pineapples are not even like. fresh pineapples. In a
Yeah,
way,
they're canned.
they've been cooked. They're canned. They've been cooked a little bit on the pizza. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Them things are not the purest of the purest. They're dirty pineapples.
Yeah, they're dirty pineapples, man. That's funny. Man. Well, now we know that KC picks off his cheese. That might be the
It's
funniest thing you
terrible.
said.
There's so much fat for it, man. I'm a very picky eater. I'm very picky. Like, I don't like chicken really. Like,
What?
I,
What?
What?
I told you, I told you.
What?
Y'all gonna have controversy from me. I don't
The
really
real
eat
hot
chicken like
takes.
that. Yeah, don't really.
Man,
eat
this guy
chicken.
doesn't like nothing. He doesn't like no one. He doesn't like
Steak,
food. He doesn't
steak.
like.
I don't eat steak.
Uh,
I don't eat steak. What else do I
what?
not eat? I'm what else?
Bro.
There's so much stuff, man. I would have to give y'all a whole list of stuff I do not like.
Yeah, you have to text me, but don't put it online because you will never blow
I
it.
know
You might get
I
flamed.
know. I might get hashtag cancel KC culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, I might start that on Twitter real quick, bro. I mean, it might actually help you. I'm just saying.
Hey, for real, it might give me a blow up.
People,
People might
people
be like,
love those
"Yo,
controversy.
KC."
Like
Yeah,
Indie Tribe, didn't they do a fake controversy one time and it really worked out for them? Like when RG was
yeah,
on.
yeah. When RG had left, right? That's so crazy. Like, it's so
Well, I thought it
crazy.
was when
Like,
he was
he
on.
left.
RG and Mike LV were like
Oh
beefing, but they
yeah,
weren't beefing,
yeah.
but they were, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so crazy," and then like their
Oh
I
numbers
shit.
went up.
I love I love people that we get these like fresh takes and they like cover the beef and stuff like that. Like, who is it? The Crew Hip Hop Corner always the latest beef and stuff like that. They're like,
Yeah, boy.
yo, so they were saying they were beefing with so and so. So what's your take on that? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. And we'll talk about it. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
think we have too much beef.
But yeah, all right. That's a whole different subject. Let's end this real quick before it becomes 3 hours long.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
But anyways, thank you so much for coming on, KC. We'll have your links in the description on for Instagram, Spotify. Be sure to scream the heck out of KC's music. We should have this up
Nice.
before Let Us Rage, but be sure to be looking out for that because that song's gonna go crazy. But yeah, thank you again, and see you
Thank
guys
y'all.
next time.
Appreciate y'all, Cole. Appreciate you, Cooper. Thank y'all. Y'all are the homies. I love CHHysteria. Y'all, everyone that's subscribed, keep supporting. These are awesome, awesome dudes. And they're cool as heck. We've had amazing conversations and stuff, and so it's good to finally be able to like talk to y'all and
Man, for real.
be able to do it. So yeah, Pancho Gang. Ooh, out.